Okay, welcome back everyone. What's it today? I lost count having days off. I think it's Thursday afternoon here in Sydney. Again, I've got Jeffrey he's from America. Say hello mate and introduce your channel.
Well, I'm Jeffrey from Old American Iron.
Check his channel out, Old American Iron. He's got some interesting things he's playing with there, so go and say hello to him over there and subscribe and do what you've got to do to help him out over there.
When I was talking to Steve before I came, I says, what would first starts be without doing at least one GM 2-stroke?
Oh yeah, which is what we're going to do today now. I don't think I've done a willet start with a 2-stroke because most of them go here. Today we've got a HD7 Allis Chalmers Bulldozer here, crawler tractor. I've had this for about 6 or 7 years, probably 6 years. I've never had it going. I unloaded it here with the crane and the old excavator and sort of just sat here ever since. The bloke I got it off, he said he never had it running either, and he had it for quite a long time, so we could call it 20 years I'd imagine, the way he was talking, but I could be wrong, could have been 10 years, but I've never seen it run and he didn't either, the previous owner. So it's got a 371 2-stroke Detroit diesel. Can't say too much else about it. It'd be early 1940s I'd imagine, going off my knowledge. Hydraulic blade, again it's got the frame over the top. That's the lift frame for the blade. I don't know much about it. It needs a set of tracks, so if anyone in Australia close to me has got a set of tracks that fit one of these, possibly a D4 cat or something like that. Roughly, I've never even measured the pitch. But first thing we'll do is see if the engine goes and we'll go from there. But this will be a willet start, and then I'll later on down the track I'll look at getting it moving and getting it driving and whatever, but that won't be any time soon because there's other jobs in front. But we're just doing a few jobs while Jeffrey's here, and a few willet starts and just small jobs that we can do while he's about for the few days he's around. So I think we're going to lift the bonnet off it to start with, and so we can access the tappet cover and see if she winds over. And I grabbed the fan before we started recording, and it does only a couple of degrees, but I did spin it, so we'll get the cover off and make sure that all the rack's free and she's not going to run away, and check the oil and coolant and get some fuel and power hooked up to it and see what happens. So please click the like button and share if you like it, and subscribe, and merchandise store, the description's in the link's in the description. Sorry, we're selling out of that stuff. We've had to replenish it because we're selling that all around the world, and a big thank you to everyone that's supporting us. So we'll go ahead and get to work on this and see if we can't get it to go. That's it, mate. That's the first for me. Well, there we go. Might blow that down and pop her off, eh?
Probably be a good idea. I don't know. Might as well break that off of there.
All the throttle's part of the flap on this one, like the old one there.
Yeah, and my HD5 was too that day.
Yeah.
When you shut it off, it closed that.
Yep.
Does anything move at all back here? Doesn't seem to.
Spray a bit of it up. That linkage comes straight, oh it comes out over there.
Let's see, then there's another. I think first look at this.
No movement, mate.
See, there's the throttle there.
That's the stopper on
Yeah.
the big one over there.
Yeah. And that hooks up to this right here.
So that's the flapper in the cutoff.
I think I
Now that's off at the moment.
Is it? I don't know.
Well, that one over there is out to be off. A bit better penetrant than
I was thinking. It isn't stuck from here back, because that moves in
that.
there.
That's moving there.
So
I wonder what that fucking thing is like. Circular thing.
I think that's got a friction disc in there.
Yeah, like a spring in the disc.
Yeah, so it holds it in place. That'd be my best guess.
Well,
I think I'm going to.
we're gonna have to free all that up before anything, really, aren't we?
Yeah, I was thinking about taking this pipe off so we can get at this more and work on getting some of them pins to turn. They either gotta be freed up or disconnected, one of the two.
It's not stuck there.
Yeah, it's
so
not
moving.
stuck there, so it's either, it's stuck on the shut-off pole or through that friction disc or whatever it is.
Bolts, so they might
Yeah,
just free them up like that. I've got some vice grips here.
I was just going to clamp it on the rod and try assisting a little bit with.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that!
Oh, Jeffrey's got some.
Got some movement.
With him having movement there.
Oh,
I've got movement over
this
here.
one just pivots on there. That's the
That
shut
just
off.
pivots for the shut off. So first things first, we've got to get all these throttle controls and stoppers moving. So stopper controls the rack and the shut off for the blower.
So the
And then the handle just controls the governor.
throttle control moves.
We're gonna have a fucking beer. And we'll get the air going and blow that rack down, I reckon. Want a beer?
Not yet. Not quite yet. Yeah, this. Oh. There, that one's moving.
Gonna blow that off. Just watch your eyes, mate. Just for 2 seconds, just lightly, and then we can see if the rack's moving too. Just got a screwdriver and dig a bit of that shit out of there. Do, mate. Do you need to blow any of this down before we open it?
I don't think so. Stuff like this, I usually give it a bump and loosen it up and then blow it off one more time.
Yeah, I can do that. I want to blow all this stuff
Yeah,
off too.
yeah. I'm just going to give it a little.
I'm just thinking what we do here, whether we're going to cut that so the shit doesn't go down, or just take the bowl out of it, or got an oil bath in it. We're better off disconnect it in case it's full of water or something.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take this off so she's not sucking in any old rubbish out of that air cleaner, and we can choke it properly if she happens to get away. Probably highly unlikely it gets away with the rack being held by vice grips, but stranger things have happened. You settle that in there, we don't want that.
Anytime you say something can happen, guess what happens?
It does.
It happens.
Hey, how'd you go there, mate? You gonna fuel free?
Let's see what it looks like under there. Looks real nice under there.
Is all this free, Jeffrey?
Not to shut off yet.
Well, she's certainly stuck. Try a light bit of weight on it before we pull each one. And could be even in the governor, mate. It's all
Easiest way to find it out there. You pull that.
without dropping that clip.
Got a good tight little bit.
I'll get some pliers. It's an injector. Well, we're going to lift this rack out and find out which one it is. So she would have went flat out if we hit her.
I had to put this pin somewhere so we don't.
I'll get the quarter set out, drop that rack off and find out which squirter's locked up. She's fairly tidy inside, I'm pretty happy with that. If we had started this, it would have went just full fuel because there's no governor control over that rack. When you turn them off, when you shut the engine down because the governor's trying to pull it wide open, to rev it back up, that's where she stays. So it's only a 2-valve head, it's not as complicated as a bit more room than the 4 valves. They'd only be small injectors too, should be down rated a little bit, I'd imagine. The oven's moving.
So the only thing that's stuck is the
Stopper.
stop. You know, it's either the pivot back there or the stopper here.
Looks pretty good though, doesn't it? It's clean. Not full of carbon or anything. Two are stuck. That one's okay. Get a bit of warmth and fuel through it, should be right. Phillips head pry bar here.
No.
Not a lot of weight on that, isn't it? too bad either, Jeffrey.
That one's gonna.
We control it with the vice grip till she warms up a bit. Other good ways to get a bit of fuel. I've sprayed down those, which we can do.
That other one didn't move yet, did it?
This one went in but hasn't come out, no. It will, but I don't want to force it. I might take those pipes off and just drop a bit down those. She's not dry, so it should be lubricated.
Very slowly.
It's got fuel in the injector. You wondered how it'd stick, wouldn't you? Must have had moisture or something in it. Which one, mate? The little one?
That one. I took the intake pipe to the blower off. This doesn't have an emergency shutoff going into the blower, but there's a flapper and intake pipe that hooks up to the fuel shutoff, apparently. And I want to get this freed up. See, it's stuck. Work on getting that freed up.
Oh, the throttle works nicely.
The only one that doesn't move yet is that pull for the fuel shutoff. All three of them, they went down, they didn't come up?
Oh, one's okay, but
Might
as well just put them in a bucket of fuel and just work them a little bit. Not overly hard to work on, mate. Nothing's ever super tight, are they, on these?
Have you worked on many of these or not?
Yeah. Rebuilt one and a lot of work getting others going. I mean, I'm certainly no expert. But
The only one I ever touched was the 271 in my
Yeah.
HD5. And that one I took the injectors apart and put new tips in them.
Yep.
So I got the crash course on that.
I'll rebuild that 6 in the old white. Most of the ones I've got generally go alright though, they're running, but I need a bloody heel bar to get these out. I've got a nice little heel bar up in the shed there for these, but
That's up in the shed, right?
yeah, it is. Probably should go and get it, shouldn't I? So these were stuck, so for those of you when you means a rack's stuck, if it's stuck, you can't move it like that, it means it's going to go to full throttle. If you run it off ether and it does pick up diesel, or it's already got diesel up to it, you're not going to be able to control it. These were tight, the 3 of them. I've now got all the plungers working and the fuel controls working, so put 3 of these back in, it should go. So they were tight, the whole 3 of them. So I've lubed them all up. It's working fine and the plunger's working, so we'll install them and see what happens. I think these are roughly only 25 pound or something, foot-pound from memory, so I'm not going to do them much. I haven't got a tension wrench with me.
Some little guy just came crawled through here.
Oh, right.
I don't know what it is. I remember probably a couple years after it started, Frank, 73 Bandit Rio, says, label one of them a will at start. And you'll get all kinds of, you'll get thousands of views. Well, I did that and it still didn't make a difference.
So it doesn't, mate. It's... Then you get comments that will it start, and they say, oh, of course it's going to start. All these videos do, and how else do you title it if it's sat around? It's a mystery still, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
just because it spins doesn't mean it'll go. But most people appreciate it.
what I get kicked is ones. Will it run after 2 years? Well, let's see. It's a car that's sat in the garage for 2 years.
Yeah.
Do you really think there's any if it don't run, it ain't the car's fault.
No.
It's the guy who's trying to do it. Of course, I got to stop and think too that these cars these kids are working on. I was 30 years old by the time those cars were built.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, even you here, 30 years younger than me. That, what I think ain't old, you guys think is old.
I'll have to see what the fuel supply is like next, mate.
Now with that winch on there, you can't get under. That's where I made a mistake on that HD5. If I would have reached under there, it had a drain on the fuel tank. And if I'd have reached in there, opened it up and drained the water off, that thing would have started up and ran and I'd have drove it right on the trailer. With that winch on there, trying to get under there is...
Where's that pin, Jeffrey? You got that?
Yeah. What? Yeah, I'll get it. I'll hook that up.
She's certainly free now. I might get some fuel up before I put those pipes on. I've just set a battery there to see what happens. It's a charged 12 volt battery. I'm assuming it's going to be 12 volt, but I'm not sure. That old contact's probably a bit rough too, I would imagine. Can't really get that in there.
That's how I...
Safe to say that's bottomed out and it's doing nothing. See if the motor turns at least. Touch it on that strict on that motor and
Anything? Oh yeah. No.
I don't know why I'm not. It's just winding straight over. Might be stuck in.
Yeah, it might be stuck in, yeah.
Well,
Some of them like to stick in until it fires and
yeah.
throws it out.
I think we got fuel already too. Look at the smoke even, look.
Was there just what was in the injectors?
Yeah, what was in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's out.
I can go up there and push it in with my foot maybe.
Oh, I can probably do it here if you want to stand there.
I'll go up there and see if you can.
It's as far in as I can get it with my hand. It might even wind straight over if you push it hard enough.
That's as hard as I can.
Is it?
Why don't you squirt a little oil on that
Yeah,
rod?
I might. I just couldn't get it far
Yeah.
enough. Goes alright off one little battery, really. Something that sat around.
A little see if fuel comes out on those.
Yeah, I mean the tank's still got to draw it up.
See, now that it pushes easier now. You know it's going to run.
Yeah, it's going to run.
Get fuel up to it.
And they got fuel lines on that's fucking running. She started to squirt out, so we might just put them on, see what it does.
Yeah.
If it's pumping it out, it's getting it from somewhere.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Certainly smells a lot better than the old perk this morning. Still not great, but there's no ether there, mate.
Nope.
Well, I'll put some coolant in it, and hopefully the kids are here with a gimbal by then. I can walk around it if it cranks up.
I think this was shut off. That was on.
I would say out. Yeah.
This was shut off.
It's out on that one there. Out is off.
Well, which way does it turn the fuel rack to?
Yeah.
Shuts it.
Yeah. We can't go off how it just started though, because it wasn't fuel.
Yeah.
There's no fuel in it, and it went. It's pretty economical.
Just fired off the little bit that was squirted in the.
That did, yeah.
No pressure behind it or anything.
No. So I'll dip some water into it.
See, it's not a question of if, it's just a question of when.
Yep.
We're talking kind of smart for that.
It's when now, mate.
It's right. I'm pretty confident.
So here's our first attempt. It did start before, but that was just what was in the injectors. The lines weren't even hooked up, so we're going to give it a try now. I'm going to stand on the other side and control the rack while Jeffrey stamps on that mean pedal there and see what she's going to do. Where's the vice? Are they up there, Jeffrey? Or you said there another pair there? There were three.
I got a little one on the fuel shut-off.
Oh, right.
So I can hang on to it. Another two are on the batteries.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
Well, I think I do.
Yeah, take that. So the throttle is on idle, is it? So she still may not have fuel up yet, but we'll see. Just trying to take off, at least I can fully control it here.
Ready?
Guess we're ready. So what's that in idle? Shut off's right. We can try it, mate. Hang on, I've got nothing. Just let me get something to shove over in case.
What?
Something to stop it with, just in case it does take off. An oil pressure gauge with a needle in it. I'll soon tell if it's up around the rockers, but
Yeah, it's right here. Glass isn't even broke. Glass isn't broke on any of them.
at least I can bloody get it. It's just a bit. Is that the throttle, is it?
Yep.
It's just tight again, but oh, we'll see what happens, mate.
Ready?
Yep. Sounds like the motor's engaging before the pin.
Yeah.
Is that as far as you can push it? Is it stopping on something? Or?
That's as far as.
push it down a bit, mate. That might fit in there. Probably pull it a bit further from here. Can't even grab it. Take that fucking rod off.
I wound up taking the rod off of mine on the HD5 and pushing on it down there with my foot.
Yeah.
You could get at it.
Not going any further, is it? Just as she's ready to go now, the fucking it might work. Just that. Just that so it hits the pinion first.
Yeah, it's oh yeah, there's an adjustment hole so it wouldn't be engaging the starter point. So
That's what it is. It's hitting the motor too early. Right here.
you got a 9/16 spot. Ring spanner.
What's happening here at the moment is the electric motor's engaging before the pinion's hitting the flywheel, so that's why she's making that noise. There's a bit of an adjustment there, but it doesn't look like enough to me, but we'll soon see. It was working fine before, now we want it to crank up, it's not. Just let me spin the fan a bit, mate.
Yeah.
Hang on. She's not spinning. Yep. Let me spin it more, mate, in case it's a flywheel missing. Bloody a spot there. Oh, she's fucking tight. Yep, try that, mate.
We got a stuck generator, so we're getting some drain there.
All right.
You want to cut that belt off of there?
Everything to help.
There must be spots in the ring gear where it's worn more.
I'd say so. need a generator, does she? See if she goes again. Might as well turn the fan. Yep. About to fly to bits, but
Sounds nice, though.
that sounds beautiful, doesn't it? I'm just going to stand back from that belt, Jeffrey, so she doesn't. I won't cut it off just yet, but see if she'll go again, mate. I think it's doing it what it should.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, we might have to turn it again.
Grab it from up here. Yep.
One more time. I can probably get it. Oh, maybe not. Oh, no.
That might be enough.
That's right.
Can't complain about that. That old fuel tank might have a bit of stuff in it. It looked fairly clean through the through the top, but I only put a few litres in it too, so she probably used that, I'm not sure. There you go, 371 Detroit diesel. C60 injectors in it. Sounds like it's only rated at about 1600. That's flat out, so which they were in these, unless you tuned them yourself. So I guess that's it for this one. Until we do a bit more on it later on, I'll probably take the blade off and all those bits and pieces and just use it as a pulling tractor. Start putting hoses and hydraulic cylinders and stuff on, you start talking money, which I haven't got, so good for pulling trees out of the bush, or just tractor pull, or if I need a dozer, this one here, she's a bit bigger. This will be tomorrow, we'll crank her up and do a bit with her. So again, hope you all like that. It's probably the first Willet start I've done on a Detroit, apart from the red Transtar, which sort of knew the result of that one, but that's how I titled it. So
far on the week that I'm here, we're 3 for 3.
3 for 3, 1 at Dave's and 2 at my place, and then we might even have a tinker tomorrow while Dad's driving that. I don't know what we'll do, but that big excavator's got to be taken out of there too, so I can trim all those weeds, but we'll see. So thanks everyone for watching, and again, check Jeffrey's channel out, Old American Iron. Thanks again everyone for watching.